So now for the number that everyone's been waiting for, how much AP have you written? I know you said 5 policies closed, 92 leads, 14 appointments that showed, and 32 that auto books. What does that break down to as far as AP written?
All right, so just to recap, we did $1,100 in lead spend over the course of almost a month, 3 weeks, roughly. I wrote...
What's going on, everybody? It's Tim from Advanced Agent Marketing here. I have Adam Lindsay from Impact Financial, right?
Impact Legacy Group, yep.
Impact Legacy Group. Awesome, man. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on here. I wanted to have you on the channel here to kind of just talk about your experience over the last couple of weeks. I know we did like a done with you setup for you and everything. And I kind of wanted to go over the numbers because you and I were texting back and forth, and what you told me, it sounded pretty exciting. So I figured it'd be worth sharing with the audience. So,
Sure.
Adam, just kind of start off here, just introduce yourself, maybe tell people a little bit about you and how you got into the business. And then after that, we will go ahead and break down these numbers for everybody.
Yeah, happy to. So like Tim said, my name is Adam Lindsay. I got started in insurance. It's been over 1.5 years, almost 2 years now, actually. I started in health insurance and did that for about 1.5 years. And then I switched over in July, mainly focusing on life insurance. And now I'm kind of stepping into the advanced market side as well. So about 6-7 months now on the life insurance side, and things have been going great. They were going okay before, but now they're going much better since I got set up with Tim and Julian. I've joined up with Impact Legacy Group back in July, started my own agency. As you can see here, Safe and Secure Insurance is what I've called it. So I've built out my own website, done all that stuff. And so hoping to gain a bigger local presence here, as well as be able to bring people on under an agency name. So it's, more official.
So cool. For the part that everyone's been waiting for, let's kind of break down these numbers. So first thing I want to know is how much did you spend on ads total?
So for my ad spend, I'll break it down a couple different ways. So to start off, we set up the ads and just did the initial couple ads that we were running, and I had them set at a $30 daily budget. So from there, we started optimizing after a few days. Currently, I have it running at a $75 budget every day. Okay. And so I started running ads on December 16th. And from there, I have spent a total of $1,101.95.
Okay. So
if you break that down to the 92 leads that I've received off of that comes down to $11.98 per lead.
Wait, stop. Quick interruption in the video. There's a group of agents underground right now that are changing the way that business is being done, changing the entire direction of where the industry is actually going. And it's in a group called Insurance Agent Freedom. So if you want to learn from top producers in the industry, anywhere from generating your own Facebook leads, anywhere from how to sell term life insurance, final expense, and even network with top producers in the industry so that you can change your business starting today to start getting more commissions, more clients, and more referrals than ever before, then click that link down below and join Insurance Agent Freedom. We'll see you there. Click that link.
So these are all term leads. You're not doing final expense. These are all term.
Exactly. These are all term. I did sell one final expense policy, and I'm planning on selling another on Monday, but They're all advertised as term policies.
So basically, I think you said 1,101, if I heard that right?
Yes, 1,101.95.
Okay, 95. Gotcha. And then basically $12 a lead. How many leads did you get total? I think you said 90 something?
92 is the
92
head count since December 16th.
Okay. Now, do you know one of the things that a lot of agents are, really excited about, and this is kind of a new thing that's kind of coming into the industry. This is something that we're helping people with as well, is having auto booked appointments. So that you basically are just you're walking into a preset appointment. All you got to do is call and close. How many auto booked appointments did you get from those 95 leads, I think you said? Or 92 leads?
32.
32 appointments. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 32 pre-books out of 92. Now, I talked with a guy yesterday, and I don't know if your auto book, or not your auto book, your auto book percentage is great, but your show rate, I don't know if your show rate is going to be able to match his.
Yeah.
I think he had 7 auto books and 6 showed. Do you have an idea of how many of those actually show up to the appointments?
So 14 out of 32.
So 14 show up. How many of those that showed up? I mean, I don't know if you have this exact number. I know you have the amount of policies you closed, but of the auto books, I mean, what percentage of business that you wrote would you say came from the auto books?
So I've written, since the 16th, I've written 6 policies, and 5 of those were from the auto book.
5 were from auto books. Okay.
Yep.
Now, did you write like multiple policies on the same person, or are those like of the 14 auto books, 5 closed?
Correct. Yeah. This is an individual policy per lead.
Okay. So you're about like 30% of the people you talk to are getting closed.
Correct. And I will say also, I did have an appointment yesterday with a lady who I will be writing a policy on her 3 sons, and her uncle who's disabled. So that'll be 5 policies from 1 lead.
And then I think you told me there was one more that you have that you're supposed to write too, or you have an appointment tomorrow. What was it?
I have a guaranteed, quoted, and ready to go for this afternoon. Okay. And then I've got 3 other booked appointments for this afternoon as well. So
wow.
Yeah.
And are those auto books or are those ones you set yourself?
2 of them are auto books. 1 is one I set myself.
Wow. Okay. And so I'm curious, like, how much calling have you actually done to do the business that you did? And then after we go through that, I want to jump into the AP numbers, because that's what everyone's really excited about.
So like out of the 90 leads and, you know, the 30 some that have booked, I've probably, do you want like minutes or hours?
I guess so let's say you said 92 leads, right? 32 of them auto booked. You talked to 28 or 14 show, or was it 14 no show?
Yeah, 14 show, I think it was.
Yeah, 14 shows. So you talked to 14 of them. Have you called the no shows? Have you like called a bunch of the leads that came in and didn't book? Or are you like solely really just focusing on the ones that are booking appointments?
I've mainly been focusing on the ones that are booking.
Okay.
I have attempted to call some of the, you know, just straight leads that didn't book appointments, and haven't really had any luck with contact there. But I have had some luck with rescheduling appointments on people that miss. So when they miss an appointment, I reach back out, they'll usually say, oh yeah, sorry, something came up, I need to reschedule. So
now for the number that everyone's been waiting for, how much AP have you written? I know you said 5 policies closed, 92 leads, 14 appointments that showed, and 32 that auto books. What does that break down to as far as AP written?
All right, so just to recap, we did $1,100 in lead spend over the course of almost a month, 3 weeks, roughly. I wrote of face amount, we did almost $800,000 in face amount, so of total coverage for the clients. In monthly premium, we did just shy of $600. So in annual premium, that comes out to $7,186.56.
Okay, so $7,186.56. And so if we divide that by your total lead spend, I want to get your ROI. So for every dollar you're spending on leads, what you're making. I think you said
101.95.
0.95. Okay, so let's see. Total ROI is 6.52. Shoot, dude, that is not bad by any means. So 6.52 ROI, and again, I think that's going to be higher, especially when you close a couple of those deals that are going to come through on Monday, and then some of the other ones that are still pending. I think you said you have a guaranteed one today or tomorrow.
It's today. Yeah.
Today.
Okay. Like right after this call.
How much is that for? I'm just curious.
It's another $46.93 in monthly premium. So if we add or multiply that by 12, it's another $563 in annualized premium.
It's not bad. It's not huge, but it's not bad by any means. Every policy counts, right?
Right.
I think something that would be super valuable, because what I see all the time, right, is they think that the leads are going to be the silver bullet, right? And while you saved a ton of time, you haven't really had to dial. You're walking into appointments. It seems like a pretty good percentage of them are closing. You still have to be able to close, right? You still have to be able to talk to them. You still have to be able to sell. And I hear so many people, they think like, hey, I get this set up from Tim and Julian, all of a sudden I'm going to, have money, being printed or whatever. I don't have to learn to sell. And that's not the truth. So I want to see, or if you could kind of just like walk us through what your sales process looks like. First, if you like call a lead, so let's say you call some of those 60, 70 leads that haven't been touched yet. And then also, if you're walking into a pre-booked appointment, what does your process look to close that person?
Okay. So let's start off with doing calls. So if I'm calling a lead, my main objective for the first call is just to set an appointment.
Gotcha.
I usually don't try and do one call closes on the first call.
Okay.
Unless it's a pre-booked appointment, then I'm closing it on the spot. Or if they're asking to buy the policy right then and there, gotcha. Obviously easy sale. But kind of I use a script that I go off of. And so basically, hey, this is Adam, just getting back to you from yada, yada, yada. And then they acknowledge, say something to the effect of, okay, so what was your main concern? What were you looking for coverage to do for you? Who are you wanting to protect, right? So I ask all of those things all at once so they can kind of grasp the idea. So they tell me whatever answer, and then I try and ask questions to that to try and really, hit home what the problem point is, right? So from there, restate the issue, and then we just go right into the fact find. So, okay, so are you non-smoker, diabetes, heart attack, stroke? I gotta ask all the questions. Once I get to the end, say, great, got all the information I need. I have appointments available this day or this day, which is better for you. So set the appointment, have them write it down, tell them what they'll need for the appointment, hang up the phone.
So you're doing the underwriting on the appointment setting call?
Just the basic stuff. So I'm asking, are you taking any meds? Do you have any history of cancer? Yada, 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 heart attack or height and weight, criminal record. That's basically it.
Okay. And I'm curious because I haven't heard people doing that much, but it sounds like it could be an interesting idea. Like, what's the philosophy behind doing the underwriting when you're booking the appointment on the phone?
But one of the things with asking some of the underwriting questions in that initial call is, part of it is just kind of asserting the dominance, right, on the call and leading the call where you want it to go. So they're not, tanking the conversation and never call you back or whatever.
Gotcha. So you already have like the basic framework for underwriting. So when you actually do the appointment, you're not spending the first, let's say 10, 15 minutes just trying to find all their medications and, do their heart problems and whatnot. So you already have some fact finding that you've done initially.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then in the actual sales call or even for the pre-book stuff, I set the expectation up front that if we find you something that works, we're going to be filling out an application today. These are what the steps look like. And so I use, if you're familiar with Alex Hormozy, I use his closer framework in my sales. So closer stands for C is for clarify, L is for label, so labeling the problem. O is for overview. So you look at history and past experiences of, what they've tried to do to solve the problem in the past. S, sell the vacation. So you're selling them what the product is going to do for you, right? Explain, E is for explain, and then R is for reinforce. So reinforcing the decision. So working all of that into the call. But more specifically on the call, I'll get in and really dig into that pain point, right? So talk about why they need the coverage and who they're trying to protect, specifically what for. So just kind of playing dumb a little bit and asking what seem like simple questions. So if you were to say to me, I need it to cover my son. Okay, why? Why do you need to cover your son? Oh, because, he doesn't have any money. Okay, and do you have a house payment? Yeah, sure, I've got a house payment. Okay, so he doesn't have any money to pay off the house. No. Okay. And kind of digging in like that, right? So asking tons of questions to kind of create that mental picture in their mind, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, you offer the solution to their problem.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes a ton of sense. And then I haven't asked you this yet, but would you be willing to kind of like show your Facebook ads dashboard just so people could kind of get like a mental picture of what that looks like?
Sure.
And I'm curious, while you're pulling that up, how much time would you say that you've spent like on the ads? Because one of the biggest like questions or worries that I get from agents is, they don't want to have to learn Facebook ads, or they don't want to have to invest a ton of time into it. How much would you say, maybe hours you've spent over the past, weeks since December 16th when we launched it, tweaking or managing the ads?
So the ads themselves, not a ton of time. I mean, I had a little bit of experience with the ads prior to working with you guys. So like I was kind of familiar with how the structure was. But you guys helped me clarify how different metrics worked and things like that. But I mean, total time over the last couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 hours total, and that's just like refining things and figuring out copy and things like that, but not a ton of time at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Okay, cool. Well, let me give you screen share access. I did that yet. All right, you should be able to share your screen.
All right, so let's share this window. You see that?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So you just tell me what you want to see. I'll drag you around.
All right, so we got term leads. Looks like 92 leads.
This initial one here, this was something that I tried running by myself, and it didn't really work out. So that was before the 16th. So that's why it's showing 0. But yeah, that's the one. Term leads.
And so let's go through term leads. Let's look at the different ad sets that you're running.
Okay. So currently I've got 2, just the one running right now. So I started out, I think those are on the other one actually. So this is the one. Targeting, we did no targeting for because I think we tried initially doing parents with targeted and non-targeted, and it worked out better than non-targeting.
Yeah.
And then we had some standard copy and then the video ads, and as you can see, the video ads are outperforming pretty much 0 to none, or 10 to none. So
yeah, no, the video ads are killer, dude. That's one thing that I've realized is like it's odd, because sometimes I've even seen like ad accounts where a photo ad will outperform the video, but and it's odd too, because sometimes I'll see targeted outperform non-targeted, but that's why we just have to test it, because you never really know what is going to perform best until you test it. And so trying to already answer the question without asking it, or already know the answer before testing it, it's just pointless, because sometimes you'll be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So like I tried out, once I figured out that the video ads were working, I tried 3 different video ads with different copy and different headlines, and narrowed it down to these 2 that were performing the highest. Okay. So that's where I'm broken down to right now. So I'm currently only running 2 ads in the ad set.
Okay. And so like, let's say over the past week or so, what's the cost looking like?
Well, let's break it down. So this last week, let's do this week. So there you go. $9.64 per lead just in the last week.
Okay. So the cost looks like it's trending downwards. Maybe in the beginning, the costs were a little bit higher, but now as of recent, the cost has gone down quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Well, I think next steps again are just like getting some more video creatives in there. And then at a certain point, we can start testing lookalike audiences. And then I don't know how many clients you have total, but this is something that's super cool, is once you get to a certain point, if you have over 100 clients that you've already signed up, you can plug in their name, email, phone number, and create a lookalike audience off of that. I don't know if we've covered lookalike audiences yet, but it's basically where Facebook finds it finds an audience on Facebook most similar to a set of people you give it. So if you give it all of your clients you've signed up, it'll find the subset of people on Facebook most similar to those people.
Interesting.
So you upload 100 clients, all of a sudden it's going to start picking out people that are more like people you've already written, and so they're going to be better leads overall, is the philosophy. But definitely something that's going to be worth testing in the next coming weeks here. But Adam, dude, I'm excited for you, man. This is only the beginning, and I don't see how we could go anywhere but up from here.
Yeah, for sure. I think when we first started running the ads, the lead spend was like double that. It was like 18 or 19 bucks. Yep. So it's definitely gone down.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And so I'm curious. So for a brand new agent, maybe they're interested in running their own Facebook ads, or they're interested in doing something similar to what you did. What would your biggest piece of advice be to that person, so that they can see similar success to what you saw?
I think a good piece of advice, just for any agent, would be don't try and do everything by yourself. Like, there are people that know what they're doing and have been doing it successfully for a while. And I think a lot of people try and come into the insurance industry and try to reinvent the wheel, if you will. Or they try and experiment with things because they think, oh, well, I think this could work better, when in reality, somebody else has already tested that and no, it doesn't work. So that can be on the lead side, but also on the sales side. So seek out a mentor or somebody who can help you with these kinds of things. Unless you're like a really experienced marketer like Tim or Julian, it's not something you're going to get just, like that. It's pretty complex, and there's a lot of steps that go into it. I've taken several other courses along with their stuff, and it just kind of all compounds. I'm always learning new things. So
Totally.
Seek out help from other people.
Yeah, that's something I have to commend you on, because I've noticed, because I kind of have like feelers out within, different sides of the industry. Like, what you realize, I'm sure you notice this, is once you've been here for long enough, like everything's connected. So you meet one person, they know this person who knows this person. It's like, it's a massive network. It's a big industry, but it's small. And so I see you in a lot of people's phones. Like, I've seen you in Johnny's phone. You're very good about tapping into knowledge of people that are, ahead of you in certain aspects. Like, I noticed you did that with Mason Van Meter to, get your sales skills up. You're at a great place at Impact Legacy. I know there's a ton of very smart people there that are very experienced in sales and been doing insurance for a long time. So props to you for plugging into a bunch of different people's systems to fast track your growth as an agent. I'm sure it'll pay off many times over in the future.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say on that, just from personal experience, I have worked with several different people, and finding what works for you, obviously that's the goal, right? But once you find what works, stick with that, right? Yeah. Don't try hopping back and forth, or don't necessarily try and take one person's ideas and somebody else's ideas and somebody else's ideas and try and combining all of them, because it may not necessarily work. Find something that works for you, find something that's effective, or find somebody who you want to be doing what they're doing and just mirror that, shot for shot. So that's what I've been doing with Mason. He's, like you said, been my sales mentor and applying that closer framework, and it's worked like a charm. So, I gladly will accept other people's input, but I don't necessarily apply it, right?
Yeah.
Because I found what works for me, and it's been going really well.
I love that. Well, so for people that are interested in learning more about how they could work with you, I know you're starting Safe and Secure Insurance. How can they go about reaching out to you to potentially, look at partnership in the future? So
I can give you my cell phone information, and you can also go to my website. So safesecureinsure.com is what it is. But you can also reach me at my cell. It's 336-601-5111. Or you can email me, adam@safesecureinsure.com. And I'm all over social media too. You can find me on all the outlets there. There we go. And stay tuned for Adam Lindsay, the ultimate agent of 2023. I'm calling it right now. He's going to win. I'm very confident in that. So looking forward to that. Wait, you said, can you bet on that in Vegas? Maybe. Yeah. Cody needs I'll start taking bets. Yeah, Cody needs to figure that out if I can't bet on ultimate agent yet. Well, cool. Awesome. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure we'll have you on again in a couple weeks when those numbers are even higher and that ROAS is looking more like 20 than 7.5, but or 6.5, but I'm sure it's coming, dude. I'm excited. This is just starting to get ramped up. So absolutely. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for hopping, spending time with us. Hey Siri, we're sorry, my iPad's talking to me. No, you're good, dude. The robots are taking over already. It's coming.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video and you're spending your time with us. If you got value from this video, be sure to leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button for more like this, and comment down below what you want to see from us in the future. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.